Have you ever wondered how spiritual compatibility might impact your relationship? This isn't something that many couples consider as they navigate the complexities of life together. However, the truth is that the spiritual dimension of a relationship can be profoundly transformative, adding depth, meaning, and resilience that few other aspects can offer. While we often focus on emotional, physical, and intellectual connections as the pillars of a healthy relationship, the spiritual connection is often overlooked, despite its potential to elevate and enrich the partnership in ways that are both subtle and profound. In this exploration, we will delve into the concept of a spiritually healthy relationship, its critical importance in fostering deeper connections, and the practical steps couples can take to cultivate this vital aspect of their bond. When you think about what makes a relationship strong, your mind might immediately jump to things like communication, trust, physical intimacy, or shared interests. These elements are undoubtedly crucial, forming the visible structure of a healthy relationship. However, beneath this structure lies a foundation that is often invisible but essential: spiritual health. A spiritually healthy relationship is one where both partners not only understand and respect each other's spiritual beliefs but also actively engage in nurturing their spiritual connection, both individually and together. This goes beyond merely acknowledging each other's faith or spiritual practices. It involves a deeper alignment of values, beliefs, and a shared commitment to growth. To truly grasp the importance of spiritual health in a relationship, consider what happens when this aspect is neglected. Imagine two people who appear to be perfectly matched in every visible way. They have great chemistry, communicate effectively, and share many common interests. Yet, if they lack a spiritual connection, there may always be a sense that something essential is missing, a depth that they have not fully explored. This gap can manifest in various ways: through feelings of loneliness, a lack of fulfillment, or even an unspoken sense of disconnection that neither partner can quite articulate. On the other hand, when a couple is spiritually aligned, they often find that this connection enhances every other aspect of their relationship. It acts as a stabilizing force, providing them with a shared sense of purpose and a deeper understanding of one another. However, building a spiritually healthy relationship is not without its challenges. One of the most significant obstacles couples face is the reality of differing spiritual beliefs. In today's increasingly diverse world, it's common for partners to come from different religious backgrounds or to have varying degrees of spiritual engagement. These differences can sometimes lead to tension, misunderstanding, or even conflict if not addressed with openness and respect. For instance, one partner might have been raised in a devoutly religious household and continues to practice those traditions, while the other may identify as spiritual but not religious, or may not engage with spirituality at all. Without open and honest communication, these differences can create a divide in the relationship, with each person feeling that their spiritual needs are either misunderstood or unmet. Another challenge is the simple lack of communication about spirituality. In many relationships, spirituality is a topic that is either avoided altogether or only discussed on a superficial level. This avoidance can stem from various sources. Perhaps one partner fears judgment, or they might feel that their spiritual beliefs are too personal or too different to share. Over time, this lack of communication can lead to a growing sense of isolation, where each person feels spiritually alone even within the context of their relationship. This sense of isolation can erode the emotional connection between partners, as spirituality is often closely tied to our deepest values, beliefs, and sense of self. But it doesn't have to be this way. Building a spiritually healthy relationship is entirely possible, and it begins with a willingness to engage in open, honest, and compassionate dialogue about your spiritual beliefs, needs, and experiences. One of the first steps is to create a safe space for these conversations. This means approaching the topic with an open heart and mind, free from judgment or defensiveness. It's important to recognize that spirituality is deeply personal and that each person's journey is unique. By listening to your partner with empathy and respect, you can begin to understand their spiritual perspective, even if it differs from your own. Once you have established an open line of communication, you can begin to explore ways to connect spiritually as a couple. This might involve finding common ground in your spiritual practices, such as attending religious services together, meditating, or even spending time in nature. These shared experiences can create a sense of unity and reinforce your bond. It's also important to support each other's individual spiritual journeys. This doesn't mean you have to adopt each other's beliefs, but rather that you show respect, interest, and encouragement in each other's spiritual growth. For example, if your partner finds spiritual fulfillment in attending a weekly service, consider joining them occasionally, even if it's not something you would normally do. Conversely, if you find peace in meditation or spending time outdoors, invite your partner to join you in these activities. These shared experiences can be powerful, deepening your connection and creating new opportunities for growth. But what if your spiritual beliefs are vastly different? How can you navigate these differences without sacrificing your connection? The key lies in focusing on the underlying values that your spirituality represents rather than the specific practices or beliefs. For instance, many spiritual traditions emphasize values like compassion, kindness, love, and service. By focusing on these shared values, you can find common ground and build a connection that transcends specific religious or spiritual practices. Consider the story of Emily and John, a couple who came from very different spiritual backgrounds. Emily was raised in a traditional Christian household and found great comfort in her faith, while John identified more with Eastern philosophies and practiced meditation and mindfulness. For years, they avoided deep conversations about spirituality, fearing that their differences would create a rift in their relationship. However, over time, they began to feel a growing distance between them, not just spiritually, but emotionally as well. They realized that their reluctance to engage with each other's spiritual lives was preventing them from connecting on a deeper level. Determined to bridge this gap, Emily and John decided to start having regular discussions about their spiritual beliefs and practices. These conversations weren't always easy. They had to confront their fears, misunderstandings, and preconceived notions about each other's beliefs. But as they continued to talk, they discovered that despite their differences, they shared many of the same core values: a belief in the importance of compassion, a desire for inner peace, and a commitment to personal growth. By focusing on these shared values, they were able to find common ground and build a spiritually healthy relationship that honored both of their individual paths. They also began to support each other's spiritual practices. Emily started attending a meditation class with John, while John occasionally joined Emily at her church. These shared experiences not only enriched their individual spiritual lives but also brought them closer together as a couple. They learned that spiritual health isn't about having identical beliefs or practices, it's about creating a space where both partners can grow and thrive, both individually and together. In conclusion, spiritual health is a vital component of a strong, healthy relationship. It provides a foundation that can help couples navigate the challenges of life with greater resilience, understanding, and unity. By engaging in open communication, exploring shared spiritual practices, and supporting each other's spiritual journeys, couples can build a relationship that is not only deeply connected but also rich with meaning and purpose. Whether you and your partner share the same beliefs or come from different spiritual backgrounds, the key is to approach your relationship with an open heart, a willingness to grow, and a commitment to nurturing your spiritual connection. So, have you considered the role of spirituality in your relationship? What steps have you taken to build a spiritually healthy connection with your partner? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. And if you found this discussion helpful, be sure to check out my other videos for more insights on building strong, healthy relationships. Let's continue this journey together toward greater understanding, deeper connections, and a more spiritually fulfilling partnership.